letting me take the time to share with y'all a little bit about our school and what we offer. I'm just going to jump right into it. I'll give you some information about admission mostly, and then I'll give a little bit of information about different majors we offer, like the schools, and then a little bit about scholarship, and then I'll just leave a lot of room for a question and answer at the end. So the PowerPoint won't be too long. But I want to officially welcome you all to Hampton University, which is our home by the sea. And y'all will see why we call it our home by the sea here in a few. So just to give you a brief overview of where we all started, we were founded in April of 1868 by General Samuel Chapman Armstrong. We start off with just 2 professors and 15 students, and we've grown tremendously over the years. Our current president right now is Dr. William R. Harvey, and he's been the president of Hampton University since 1978. And I think he actually holds the longest record, the longest standing record of a president being president of a university. So that shows a little bit of our consistency. So where are we located? I'm glad you asked. So we are located in the beautiful city of Hampton, Virginia. A lot of water because there's a beach right up the street from us called Buckrow Beach. But to the left, you'll just see the city of Hampton, Virginia. So you like the water, like that's the river, and then like our buildings and everything. So that's like downtown Hampton. The middle is the actual picture of our university, so it's right on the waterfront as well. So that's just a little view of our university. And then to the right is the Hampton Coliseum. So that's the building. It's not on campus, but it's in Hampton, Virginia, and that's where a lot of events that the city hosts, like concerts, high school graduation, circuses, all that is at the Hampton Coliseum. So I just wanted to be able to show you our city because we aren't hosting on-campus tours right now. So I did want to give you a glimpse of what stuff looks like. So what do we offer? So I'm just going to name the 7 academic schools as they're written, and then later on I'll ask maybe intended majors, and then I can tell you like if we have it, or go a little bit in depth if I can about that major. But we have 7 schools of discipline. So it's Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communication, the School of Liberal Arts and Education, the School of Engineering and Technology, the School of Business, the School of Science, the School of Nursing, and the School of Pharmacy. So like I said, I'm gonna come back at the end and ask what everybody's intended major is so I can maybe elaborate on it a little bit. So what does it take to become a Hamptonian? How do I get into Hampton? Admission requirements, whatever y'all want to call it. This is where I'll tell you. So Hampton doesn't necessarily have admission requirements per se. So we take a holistic approach. So we look at everything. So if you just want, something to base it off of, we kind of look at the average of the last class. So if we accepted the last class at a 3.6, a 22 on the ACT, and 1100 on the SAT, then we're kind of looking somewhere in that range, but that's not saying we won't take lower than that, because we definitely will, and we definitely have. But like what I mean by a holistic approach is, so we're not just looking at GPA and test scores, we're looking at your essays. So what do you have to say about yourself? We're looking at letters of recommendation. What do your counselors and teachers have to say about you? We're looking at, did you play a sport in high school? Were you involved? Did you do community service? Did you take a rigorous course load? That's a big one. So AP, IB, dual enrollment courses. So we look at all of that. So it's not just based on, oh, do you have the GPA and the test scores? Okay, you're not in if you don't have that. That's not what we do. We definitely take a holistic approach. And also, if we feel like you don't we may think, okay, they're not fully where we need them to be GPA and test score wise, but we see they have a lot of potential coming from their letter of recommendation and their essay. Let's give them a shot. We have this program called Summer Bridge. So that means you would be accepted provisionally. So you would be accepted and you would take 2 classes in the summer, whichever ones you pick. So we usually kind of push the English and communications course or something like that, something easy. If you do well in those classes, which you should, then you're accepted fully for the fall. So you're not missing out on anything with your class. If anything, you're getting ahead. So you're really at an advantage, especially if you do well in those courses, which, like I said, you should. So those are our admission requirements. So we'll just talk about this little money thing real quick. This little thing we call tuition, this little thing we call, whatever. So this is tuition breakdown. So 42,000. So this is the breakdown. So room charge, board charge, tuition, comprehensive fees. And this is the same across the board. So we don't have in and out of state tuition. We are a private HBCU. So it's just the same across the board. So for some, that's a good thing because we don't, everybody's charged the same, whether you live in Virginia or not. So that is the tuition breakdown. We won't dwell on that, But where's the money? So let's talk about how we can get money, how we can give you money. So we have the merit-based scholarship in the Office of Admission. That's the only scholarship that our office gives out. So it ranges from $5,000 to $25,000. And this is where you actually have to have requirements. So the requirements are listed. So unweighted cumulative GPA of a 3.3 or higher, a minimum of a 20 on the ACT, and a minimum of a 1030 on the SAT. So I know COVID has been like the big dilemma, especially with this the senior class, because around March is probably last March is probably when y'all were supposed to be taking tests. I know that's when I was in school. We took it around March of our junior year. But so since then, COVID hit, testing's been canceled, rescheduled, canceled. So we get that, and we are test optional to an extent. So if you have a 3.3 GPA or higher, you can apply under test optional, which means you don't have to submit test scores, but you won't be eligible. Like you won't be considered for the scholarship, and I'm all about the money. So if you can get the test, take the test, then I need you to take the test. So right now we are kind of having conversations with our dean and the president, trying to figure out if we can find a way to become fully test optional. But because the amount of money depends on how high your test scores are. So the amount of money you get depends on how high your test scores are. So that 5,000 to 25,000, we have to have something to replace the test score. So whether it be you writing another essay saying why you deserve the scholarship or whatever it is, we have to come up with that. So for right now, we still need the test scores in order for you to, be considered for the scholarship. But until then, until we get something or hear something, just take the test. So, but there's that. And I will update counselors that I have talked to and students that I've talked to if something does change. But to be on the safe side, just take the test. So because our campus is closed, I did want to show you our residence halls. So these are all freshman residence halls that I'll show you. So the female, we have Kennedy Honors Hall. So obviously that's for, honors students, and there's a whole honors program. And then we have Moton Hall, Kelsey Hall, Twitchell Hall, VC, and VC Suites. So you're probably looking at me like, Miss Raven, VC and VC Suites look the exact same. I'm gonna need you to break this down for me. Sure, I will. So VC and VC Suites, they are in the same building, but one side is renovated and one side is not. It kind of gives you that old school Dwayne and Whitley vibes. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I might be too old, but so it's a show from back in the day. But VC is the non-renovated side. So it'll have like community bathrooms and all that stuff. But VC Suites is more renovated. So I think you get your own bathroom or you only share with a certain amount of people. And then Twitchell Hall is another popular one too. So these ones you see right here are the popular ones for females. And then for males, we only have 3 freshman residence halls for you guys because female to male ratio, females is kind of higher than males. So we don't have we have more females than males on campus. So we have Harkness Hall, and then we have James Hall and Suites. So I guess James Hall and Suites is 2 separate entities, but in the same building. But those are your choices. James Hall and Suites is probably the one most males stay in. Then we have campus life, the lit life. So we have sports, so athletics. So If you play a sport, they do offer athletic scholarships. That's something you can talk to the athletic program about, though. We do have fraternities and sororities. We have band. Band offers scholarship. They offer scholarship that ranges from $2,000 to $11,000. You don't have to know how to play an instrument. They will teach you and give you money for it. And also, they just started giving money to majorettes, dancers, and flag girls. If you do know how to dance or any of that sort and you want some money, go join the band. And then we have Navy. We have ROTC, so we have Navy, Marine, and Army. ROTC, they offer scholarship as well. So there's a lot to do on campus. A lot of people ask us, do we have a lot to do on campus? What is there to do outside of campus? Well, a lot of organizations will have like host a week. So they'll have booths set up or seminars you can go to, and then they might have a party at the end of the week. So there's always a lot to do on campus, but we do have Peninsula Town Center, which is right over the bridge of the interstate and everything. So that's where like your Target, I love Target, other stores, out to eat places, a movie theater. It's a really fun area. So we call it Peninsula Town Center. And that's kind of the off-campus thing to do. But freshmen cannot have their car on campus. So, and that's only because we are surrounded by water on 3 sides. So parking is limited, but don't fret. There's like a shuttle. I think you can pay $1 and they'll take you places, or you'll develop friends fast. And we also have Uber or Lyft, but I guess I'm not supposed to say that because, safety, whatever. But there's ways to get off campus if you want to. But campus is always fun. Campus is lit, all right? So this is all I have to share, but there's always questions, and I want you to feel free to ask as many questions as you want. But before you do, if you want to put your phone up to this QR code, it's just an inquiry card where you can put your information in it, and it comes to our database so we can bug you with emails. So yeah, so that is all I have. But like I said, once y'all start asking questions, if you have any questions, I can elaborate a little bit. But I hope I gave a lot of helpful information. I guess I should go back to the QR code because maybe somebody didn't get to scan it. But I can take questions in the chat box, or you can turn your mic off if it's okay. If it's okay with Miss Victoria. So, but it's whatever y'all want to do.